with the ego on us, jamming out to our own intro.
Oh, we we don't care. This is for us.
The whole show's for us. Look at that! Live with no viewers. Oh, one viewer.
Well, welcome to Vagabond Nerds, where we remind you to stop, collaborate, and listen. Today's travesty against entertainment comes to you by Jeremy.
Wait. Go back. Today's what?
Yes. Today's travesty against entertainment.
You jerk. Go ahead.
Anyway, brought to you by Jeremy over at Titan Comics. You go visit him at titancomics.com, 214-350-4420 if you want to hear his dulcet tones, or visit him in person at 3128 Forest Lane, Suite 250, Dallas, Texas 75234. Otherwise, in the doobly-doo below. He is, of course, our favorite comic monger and purveyor of fine geeky accoutrement for the nerd in your life. And we know it's you. We know.
I feel like you said that with an accent this time. Does it feel like
What?
you had like a little bit of a
Nerd?
a twang
He said
on there?
nerd just fine. I didn't hear him say nerd any
No.
differently than
The
normal.
accoutrement. You like
Accoutrement?
put some.
I always put that weird.
He put
French
some
thing.
steak on it. Is what it
He's
felt like.
got a little. He puts a little French on it. You know. He
Alright.
Frenches it a little bit. I think he does it right. I do.
Slight tongue.
It's like you're not church tongue.
Exactly.
Church tongue. I understand.
Yeah.
What's church tongue? Sean, show us.
All right. So church tongue is go
what you
watch
use when
The
you're
Wedding
kissing your
Singer.
first-
That's church tongue. It's
When you're kissing your
you'll
first
see it
cousin?
there.
Is that what that is?
Oh,
When you're,
good
what?
God.
What did you do? What happened?
What?
Good
Anyway,
Lord.
speaking of
You
Picard
don't
season
need to
3.
watch those videos.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. How was the last 2 weeks, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Okay, good call. Good talk.
Yeah.
Good talk.
I don't. It's hey. I think that's what this whole show is going to be about. Is the fact that
Yeah.
we were on 2 weeks ago, and stuff happens, and then here we are 2 weeks later, and we're going to talk about what happened in the last 2 weeks.
I don't buy it. Sorry.
Well,
It's been a good show.
would
Appreciate
say,
you all
man.
coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate
yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
you. See y'all next week. We have a lot lined up for Picard season 3, so I hope you guys are all watching. Jason?
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers
Yes,
coming up.
yes,
Spoilers.
massive
Yeah,
spoilers on this. But yeah,
Yeah.
Picard season 3, episode 1 was really good. I'm looking forward for the series. So you want to talk about Last of Us?
Sweet.
Okay, so now going on to Last of Us.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
move on.
That's good.
That's good.
So this would have been the big giant fungus coming out of the ground episode. Am I right?
Yeah, episodes 4 and 5.
The,
Well, it's
The
both 4 and 5.
bloater.
So it's both of them. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
Kansas.
the bloater, as they call
Can
it.
somebody
Yeah.
tell me how this became a sex symbol in the past?
What?
Oh no,
week?
no, no.
No,
The-
no.
What is
I don't
going
wanna
on?
hear- I don't want to hear anything about that. No.
No. What they're saying is the dude who is in the suit of the bloater is actually like this bodybuilder.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, okay.
So when you see him
Okay.
standing next to the suit, he's like Arnold Schwarzenegger 1980s cut. And he's got the V, and he's so when they post all these headlines, dude,
I hadn't
it's
seen
just
anything about it. That's why I was like, no, I don't know. No.
they're putting up these little clickbaity, headlines that say,
Who is the
a
internet?
sex- Yeah, I know, right? Who would ever
not
do that?
likely.
No.
Yeah, why would anybody ever try to put something outrageous on the internet to get you to click on it?
Sean,
right?
I'm sitting here. I don't believe you at all.
I
Just-
I know it's hard for some people to hear, but it's
the
out
internet.
there.
The internet
internet-
can have false
The
stuff.
internet can lie to
okay?
you. The internet can lie. To
Good to know.
you. Yeah, it can lie to you. I mean, just look at Wikipedia's page for Nickelback. It says they were Grammy nominated in hits. I mean, that's not possible. It's freaking Nickelback. It's not.
I will
Okay,
not.
now
I will
you're
not have. I will not have you disrespecting Nickelback on this show. You keep their mother Frenchin name out there. Your mother Frenchin mouth. I'm not.
I don't
wasting
remember Samuel L. Jackson
Easy there,
slapping
Will
Chris
Smith.
Rock.
Easy.
Yeah, I'm not wasting the F bomb on Nickelback.
No, no one's
I do.
wasting
No
the
one
F-bomb
is.
on Nickelback.
I do
That was
like
a really
Nickelback.
good-
This is a serious show here. We've got
Yeah, exactly.
We've gotta use it for something serious. Yeah. I just think I think that's what all it is they're just trying to get you to click on this stuff so you can see that he's some hot dude.
Yeah. Last of Us. This last episode was really good. Again,
last 2 episodes were good. I mean, they really were.
The whole series so far to me has been really good. Every single episode has been. It's been. If anything, I could say about it's engaging.
Yeah.
When it starts, I don't want to think about anything else. I'm locked in to that episode. I'm focused on what's going on, and it's very intriguing and engaging, and it pulls you into the story. It's been great.
I the negative part of me wants to be like, oh my god, when are they going to drop the ball? But I'm just, again, like you said, man, episode drags you in, keeps you, holds you. Says hello to Edgar that just joined. And just you really enjoy the episode, and it's not. There's not
spoilers,
been
by the way.
Yeah, spoilers. For sure.
Spoilers, by the way.
There has not been a filler episode of this series.
No, there hasn't.
I just don't.
Some people were really pissed and would argue with you on that episode 3 with and I forget their two names. I forget the names of the characters.
Oh, Bill and Frank.
Bill and Frank. Yeah,
I keep wanting to say Bill and Ted, and it's like that's not who.
Yeah, they would
wrong
argue,
TED Talk.
Yeah, they would argue that was a filler episode, and I completely disagree. I think that was an amazing the way they told the story. It's like it's in the past. It's another person's perspective of what happened when the contagion hit and this whole thing went to shit. And it was just an amazing story outside, but also contained within, That's so good. Yeah.
Exactly. Kim nails that. It is a series of love and how it affects others. And this last episode was no different. I haven't played the game in full, so I don't know what's coming, and I'm kind of glad I don't.
So am I.
But it's, it's really
Genesis, my man. What's up, dude?
But it's really been interesting to see the whole thing kind of play out. And this week, if it was about love in episode 3, episode 4 would be about the survival and that father-daughter relationship, and then you come into episode 5 where it's a relationship about brothers.
I felt like it was more than just a relationship about brothers. It's also a lesson in humanity. And the reason.
Get him, Kim. Get him.
I'm gonna finish my point. All right. So it's a lesson in humanity because you have Marlene or Marjorie or whatever the hell her name is. I forget the chick's name.
Yeah.
And she's trying to find Henry or whatever and kill him and everything.
As a revenge story to that.
It was a revenge story. It was a revenge story, but she was so blinded by that revenge, she cost that entire town their lives. And that's the point. Like it's a revenge full-on lesson. It's a lesson in humanity. If she was not that vengeful person, if she was not going after it that way, if all they'd done was at least liberate the town the way they should have from apparently that horrible regime that was running it. If they had done that and then she had just said, let's get to status quo and let's just be normal and let's love each other and take care of each other and then I really doubt any of that would have happened, or at least it wouldn't have happened for years and years and years to come. But instead,
they could have actually done something about it if they had actually, because they even show them not knowing that there's a problem and not addressing it. They're like, well, we'll deal with that later.
We'll deal with that later. Exactly. So that's the thing is you lose focus. She was focused on revenge, and it was like you need to have some humanity. You need to have a little bit of heart. And if you had that as a leader, all those people would still been alive. And so what if the kid got away because he was informing on others to get treatment for his brother? I mean, okay, drastic times, drastic measures. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but.
Because even Kathleen had that moment of when she's sitting in her room and she's talking about her brother.
Yeah.
And then you almost see that twist and turn in her eyes. Like, I don't know who the actress is, but you could see that when she starts detailing off from the story of that's why. And like she goes into this full hatred of of the brothers, and it's just like, no, we've got to kill them. We got to let them know. We got to let them, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, you don't. You are absolutely
Mhm.
leading your group to a death they don't deserve because you're vengeful. That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, I did like how they did this. They both the story of the kids and Kathleen. They Henry and Sam, and then Kathleen and her brother. They mirror each other, right? Kathleen,
Yeah.
Kathleen loses her brother, because again, Henry and them, but they eventually they take over, and like I said, it turns into vengeance. Henry loses Sam. In fact, he has to kill Sam because he's turned.
So hold on real quick. When
Okay.
you're talking about when he has to kill his brother, the one thing that I really liked was it was a switch for him.
Yeah.
He didn't see his brother. He was in survival mode. And it wasn't until after he killed his brother where he realized, what did I just do?
Yeah.
It was I disagree with that. I don't think it was a full-on switch. There's a moment you see him, he sees what his brother is. He sees it. And he's trying to decide what to do while he's pointing a gun at Joel. He's trying to figure out what to do. He doesn't know what to do. But they can see it. You know what I mean? She's being attacked, and he's like trying to figure it out. Now, you're right. He executes the action quickly. You know what I mean? He does do exactly what he's like programmed to do, so to speak, because apparently all these kids go through that training, I guess, nowadays when they're born. That's what Ellie seems to talk about when she's sitting in that room. She's like, it's not my first time to shoot somebody, but it's just and then he has the moment of, what did I do? Because he just realizes that I think that what did I do was more than just the fact that he shot his brother.
Yeah.
I think the what did I do is up from when he was selling people out till now. I think that's the what did I do, which I thought was
the whole. No, I agree. But again, just going back to the idea of the mirroring, he kills Sam, he kills himself. Kathleen's
brother is killed.
Yeah, her quest for vengeance gets not only her killed, but her entire group, and ostensibly the entire Kansas, compound killed because of the infected, right? So it's like they both, the stories mirror each other. But to Sean's point, I completely agree. I think it wasn't just that it was his brother. Like it was the totality of that story. Mm-hmm. Everything that he had done was so I could save my brother, and then he has to kill his, and even in trying to save his brother died. And it's like, it's the profundity of that event, and that's why he does it. But again, both stories are mirrored, right? They mirror each other in that.
Well, everything in this series seems to be mirrored upon that. So I'm going to go back to what Genesis was talking about being a filler in the basic sense of the whole episode dedicated to a story that has nothing to do with the overall characters. And that's not incorrect to say, but it's not a filler in the sense where I don't need to see that. Like, the way it was executed to make it part of an ongoing story is what makes it, to me, not a filler. And so far, I just don't think we've seen a filler episode. Everything that's been done has always been done with reason and going forward. Since episode 1, I mean, when we find out that his daughter was not infected and could have absolutely been with them and living, and he could have, been on a different quest or a different path, but to see that she was shot and, she could have been fine. It's those little moments or those big moments in that case that kind of drives that. Mm-hmm. So what would you do, right, if this is happening to you, kind of thing. And we've talked about it before. Like, I love the fact that they kept it in parallel to it being in 2003. So everything that we have today, they're still kind of stuck in that that era and that mindset. But for me, this whole show has been, it's been a masterclass in writing. I will say that.
I agree.
Drama, yes, yeah.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And the way, so we have the first episode, which was basically the first two, right? Because it was so much longer to get the whole story kicked off. And then the actual second episode, just like those two episodes on their own, maybe those two are basically Joel centric, if you will. Yeah. Like, it centers on our two main characters.
Yeah.
The third episode is obviously centered on these other two guys, and as some people would argue, it's filler. And then
Genesis.
Genesis. The fourth episode with them riding in the truck, getting once again, we're back to them, right? We're back to Joel and again, and Ellie. And then this fifth episode, it's not about them anymore. It goes back in time again to go talk about Henry and Sam and Kathleen and that whole story of what happened in this place. And so it's like it's this really neat kind of back and forth with time.
Almost to the point where this episode starts, and I'm like, did I miss an episode?
Did I miss an episode?
Yeah, like that's where you're like, wait a minute, is this? And then it's like, oh, okay, they're flashing back. Like it had to
it's a flashback to.
Yeah.
Okay, and one thing about that really I like.
I agree with you. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say really quick though. The one thing I did like about that is again, it doesn't play down to the audience. You either get it right off the bat, take a little bit of time to absorb it, but they're not going to tell you it's a flashback 3 days ago. I get why they did it in episode 3 because they had to show you the time of passage over the 2 decades. This one was like, we're starting here. You're going to understand it. We believe you're smart enough.
You'll catch up. Yeah, we get it. You will catch on, and it will make sense. So just go with it, right? And I did. I love that. And I get it. Filler, but I think that it adds. I don't think it's filler in the sense that I feel it is adding to the overall story. Even if people are calling it filler, I still feel that it is a cool breakup of the linear narrative, which I like that in movies and shows. I enjoy when they have like a little tiny flashback thrown in somewhere, and then you have to like catch up to what's happening. A Quentin Tarantino fan. But,
well, okay, so I want to come back to the idea of episode 3 being a filler in just a second, but one of the things
we're not going to let this go.
We're not going to let that go. But I want to talk about but I want to use the whole going backwards on Kathleen and why I like the way they're doing the story, where it's like they'll catch you.
Did you say Kathleen Kennedy, or am I just thinking of people?
No, Kathleen, then catching up with your story. Because here's the thing. When we're introduced to Kathleen, initially it's like, okay, particularly with when it's contrasted with what Joel had been saying, she's like, why did you recognize this was an ambush? She goes, because I've been on both sides of this. He's like, so initially when we're introduced to Kathleen, it's like, okay, hold on. There was a rebellion, right? They threw off the Fedras that were there, which we're kind of okay with because we see what's going on. Because we were already introduced to this idea of with what's going on in Boston. So, okay, cool. We're there. But then, and so we're like, okay, maybe it's like, okay, Kathleen's probably a good guy. And then when she kills the doctor, you're like, okay, not necessarily a deal breaker,
but also not the smartest play.
But not the smartest play either, right? You're like, okay, something's going, but we don't know who Henry is. We don't know what's going, but we know it's like they're going after collaborators. It's okay, we can kind of get it. And that her drive to go after Joel and them now was because, well, they were ambushed, right? So it's like, okay, it looks like this is one of those morally gray conflicts. And then when they circle back to just 10 days before, and you're like, oh, this is even more morally gray than we thought. Kathleen's not, again, she's not necessarily, she was a good guy, but now she's definitely a bad guy. The problem is even those terms don't really work anymore in this situation. There's no, it's like good guy or bad guy. It's just, it's she's been driven this direction. Like it changes the math on all these characters. And even to Henry's point, he's like, I am a collaborator. When he explains why she's coming after him.
To Joel. Where he says, I'm a collaborator. Yeah.
That's right. And Joel's initial response was like, I don't work with rats. It's like,
which I loved, because for a quick second, you're thinking, is she about to kill this guy or just leave him there? But it's a good point, because it's like, I'm not going to work with you because I can't trust you.
Yeah.
Like you've already, before you've said anything else, you've already proven you're not to be trusted. So whatever I do now, it's going to be you and us. That's it.
Kathleen's story and her people's story is a great example of a true to life situation where a rebellious, good, right, quote unquote rebellious faction overthrows a corrupt government and then becomes exactly what they meant to overthrow in the first place.
Yeah.
And it's a very
and much faster.
I think that's much faster because we saw it happen.
Yeah.
In you got to tell it for television, right? But they talk, when Henry is talking to Joel about the stuff that they would do, and that Fedra was doing to these people in this city. It's like, there's that little part where he's telling them about killing people and how they would just get rid of folks, and it makes you see why they were the way they were, because that's the other thing. These people were psychologically and physically tortured for the whole time that they were safe in this town. And it makes and so you can completely understand why they go so hard in what they did, and why they killed all these people, and strung them up on these things and were burning bodies and shooting folks. And I mean, it's like it's understandable.
Can we talk about the tension they build going through the tunnels?
Yes.
Only to be on the outside, and he's like, so where are we at now? We're free. We're on the other side. We're good. And it was like, that was a brilliant tension builder for nothing. And it was like, because that's what would happen if there was nothing there. Like, you're fine.
Nothing there.
Yeah. But to your point, what it does is it builds this tension. You're like, okay. And then nothing happens. You're like, oh, and then the gunshot. And you're like,
but even then, there's still a little bit of time between then and when it happened. So it's just a different story outlay that just makes you're invested. And I think that's the thing. Like, a lot of times, especially now with certain movies, certain Marvel movies, certain DC movies, because I'm not biased, Genesis, you're just not pulled into it anymore. And this is like, what's going to happen next? And they do a really good job at it in this. It's like, well, this isn't going to happen, but I promise something's coming.
Yeah. It is very engaging.
Hold on, real quick.
Engaging.
I have one question. I want to go back to the whole episode 3 thing being filler. Kim, real quick, since you played the game, the scene where she's talking about whether she's looking at the magazine, isn't that from the game? I think I saw
in the back of the truck.
Game. Yeah, in the back.
When she's reading the magazine, it's almost word for word. Same with the scene that you mentioned earlier, Jason, where they're going up the stairs and he asks her, "How did you know?" It's almost shot for shot. I mean, they did a really good job. The only difference in the game with the magazine was they were driving through the rain. It was like at night. And then in the story, it was, broad daylight sort of situation. So
I have wanted to pick up and start playing, but I'm not going to do it now until the end of this, because I want to be somewhat surprised and shocked.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's a lot of differences between the game and the show, which...
Yeah, so Kim, none of us have played this game all the way through, so easy on the spoilers. Because eventually we're going to play the game. But I'm definitely holding out.
I ain't got the time.
I'm holding out.
You have no video game prowess anyway.
Until at least this first run, this first part is done, because I think what they've said they're going to do is part 1 and part 2 of 2 seasons, which I hope they keep it to 2 seasons. Please don't let me down. Please don't drag Hollywood. Don't drag this shit out and make it a.
Please don't do a Walking Dead. Please don't. Yeah. I don't need 11 seasons of this.
Okay, so we haven't seen Ant-Man yet either.
Yeah, we're not talking. Yeah, we're not going to talk about Ant-Man yet.
We're not. But we're.
Gosh, Genesis.
Yeah, but so my thing on episode 3 being filler or not filler, my problem is I think it's actually both. Because to Genesis's point, you don't necessarily have to watch episode 3 to get episode 4.
No, that's true.
Completely get it. So the idea of that. But here's where I think Ray is right in the fact that it's not a filler episode. The overall narrative is not necessarily just getting Ellie from point A to point B. It is the story of the people along the way. Like that is actually what the story is about, which makes it not filler. Plus, it explains how they get from essentially Boston to Kansas City, Missouri, so damn quickly. Fast.
Yeah.
But so again, I get the problem is you're both right in this. It is technically you could.
There's no problem. It's not a
Oh
problem.
no,
I don't
there's
think
a
it's a problem.
big problem, Sean.
Okay,
Big
all
problem.
right. Oh,
Genesis,
sorry,
I don't plan on fighting you to prove this. Kim,
I
know
forgot.
I
I
would
forgot it
lose,
was the internet.
so
I'm sorry.
Ray,
Go ahead,
you will.
Jason.
Yeah, it is the
no,
internet.
I
Ray,
won't.
you
Shut
will
up,
fight
Jason.
him, and
I mean,
we'll
shut
throw
up.
down some Jello
No,
for it.
Argue
shut up.
at nothing. It's perfect.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Internet
Okay.
contract
Okay.
fulfilled. Can we
I have
talk
one
about the
praise.
real travesty of what's going on for all these people in this this series?
Not being able to eat gluten.
Well, that's one thing. The gluten thing is I think we mentioned that on the last one. No, the real kicker is that all this took place before they finished up Revenge of the Sith, so they never got to see the third episode.
That's true, and that was the better one.
Yeah, that was
Instead, they were just all stuck with Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
We just had this argument this morning where it was like, we're joking about the whole alien thing that's been going on recently, and the fact that the two items that were shot down in both Alaska and in Michigan we've called off the search because we can't find it. But you found the one in the ocean. Either way.
They knew where that one was going, and the reason they found it in the ocean is because it's open ocean, so they were prepared for it.
Either way, though, that was the joke this morning. Was like, man, I hope it's after Guardians, but if it's okay, if it's before the Flash, I've got I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
They actually just talked about it to either this morning or yesterday evening. I don't remember what, but there's some hobbyist balloon. There's some balloon hobbyist group which I didn't know existed. The only balloon hobbies I knew of were the ones were whippets, and I did that back in high school. So that's the only balloon hobbyist I know of.
So you're thinking how many people listening would be going like, "What's whippets?
What's whippets?" Yeah, exactly. It's both an age and culture thing.
So they were like, we lost it off the coast of Alaska somewhere about 2 or 3 days ago, and they were like, and then you guys happened to shoot something down right in the same area where we had lost one. So it's quite possible that they just blew up a $12 balloon with a $40,000 missile.
No, not 40,000.
Oh, I'm sorry.
400,000.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. 400,000.
Yeah, you were
Anyways,
off by magnitude.
I thought it was funny. I was just like,
it is.
What an overreaction.
Well, okay, hold on, real quick. There's one praise I got to give for Last of Us before we get too far astray. Because if I do, this is the first post-apocalyptic show I've ever, or movie, or any of the genres I've seen. Maybe someone else has done it before, where they actually mentioned the fact that gasoline does not stay gasoline forever.
I did like that. He said that he's like, it's mostly water now, so it's only going to get us so far. I did like that. That's fantastic.
I was like, thank you. This is because that is my one big pet peeve with all these post-apocalyptic. We're like, well, here we just have all this gasoline. I mean, did you just make it? Because gasoline doesn't stay gasoline.
Mad Max wouldn't be Mad Max if they weren't trying to get the gasoline.
I get it. But it's like, it's just that one little thing where you're like,
sorry, I'm too busy laughing at Kim's boom boom.
Just boom booms. Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just it. I love the fact that they actually just addressed it at all. Like, I was just thank you.
And the other thing that I really liked was in the episode 4. Or maybe it's the end of episode 3. Actually, I think it might be the end of episode 3. Anyways, when Joel and Ellie are there, no, it's probably 4, and she goes upstairs, takes a shower, and she's like, "Oh man, hot water!" Like, wow. When they're just talking about taking a shower, do you know what I mean? Just a general shit that we take for granted on a daily basis. I mean, we've seen that before in a few other things, but I think it was just this nice. It's a nice little reminder of the fact that everything's back to feral. Like, it's tribalistic, staying alive only, that's what you're dealing with. It was really, I don't know, a little grounding moment to further build out that universe, so.
Well, in her, that's I think the one beauty of the way they've done this, because almost all the post-apocalyptic things we've seen are like within days, weeks, or within a year of the initial event, right?
28 days specifically.
And then this one is 20 years later. So Ellie's never known these things.
Yeah, she's grown up in this. Yeah,
she's grown up in the situation, because like even with The Walking Dead, Carl remembers because it's only been, he remembers what it was, right? But for her, the idea of being in an aircraft is just this unfathomable thing, right?
Yeah.
She's
I
like, you flew
did
in
like
the
her thing
air.
where she's like, "You guys
Yeah.
flew in the air. What was that like?" It was very
And having
unreal for them to experience, you know.
Yeah.
all the comic books that she's ever seen, right, are 20 years old, right? And
When the
she's
last
like,
time they were good, it's
last
amazing.
time they were good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I read that. That's no, I don't want to. I don't want to imagine that, but yeah, it's got to be. You
Thank
know
God
what?
we don't have smell-o-vision.
This is it's if you think about it, it's basically back to the 1800s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's exactly
That's
what
all
this
it is. It's back to the 1800s, which is not that far away from where we are right now, really. So it's pretty crazy.
I can't even fly balloons in this weather anymore.
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant time-wise. I meant time.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
In the sense that
I got you.
in the sense that shit's been around for a lot longer than we've been this civilized.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Is that what this is?
But see, this is why civilizations collapse.
True. Yep. Neither do
too late.
I
Too late,
understand,
Genesis.
and neither do I.
Too late.
No.
I know why you're saying it, but
I know why he's saying it, and I agree with him on that. I don't want to go back to that. No, thank you.
So, anyway, again, tomorrow night's a new episode, and can't wait for it. I don't know, but I'm not going to say.
Wait.
Hold on.
Don't wait, because that's
say
dark.
anything. But
I'll wait to see it on Monday, like I usually do. I'm not gonna stay up to watch it and then go to bed.
What I will say though is this: HBO, do better on your preview trailers, because we did not need to know that that's what was going to happen. You just terminated this thing where you want to give the big secret in the middle of a trailer. Don't do that. Don't I don't know who the genius was behind
Batman
that.
v Superman. This
Yeah,
bitch,
like just don't.
It's but you know
and they did.
They've been showing that. Okay, so they've been showing that the bloater. I presume that's what you're talking about.
No, because at the end of every episode they do. They do the preview for the next episode. I really wish they would have done it for this one.
I turn it off before it ever happens because I think
I'm right there with you.
I will now.
Quit doing that shit. They really. So I don't know what's coming. So I'm glad that you didn't.
I'm not saying it. I just think that was really.
No, they don't. They need to quit doing that shit.
Because not a fan of HBO doing that at all.
No, I never. You're right.
I don't care, Genesis. I don't care. This is not the game.
On the bloater, though,
we've not played the game for these 10 years. We are the general. Well, we would be basically the general populace that is waiting to see.
And what are you talking about, Genesis? It just came out 6 months ago.
For the PS5.
For the fourth remake in a row.
Right. For another remake. Yeah. Sorry. No, what are you saying?
On the bloater, I hope we get to see more of that, more of that kind of character, because
whatever it is,
the costume that they made for that is it is a practical costume, but the costume they made for it is amazing. Like, we only see it with the fire, so you don't really get to see there's colors on it. Again, this is the nerd talking. It looks like actual fungus growing, like with the coloration and everything. Like the costume's amazing. So I hope we get to see more like during the daytime when we can actually see things.
The thing about it is,
of it.
I like the fact that they point out without telling you that the fungus doesn't like sunlight.
Yeah.
Because when they're standing on top of that building looking down at all these
in the light
and they're like crawling away from as the clouds are rolling over and there's breaks in the sun, you see them all start writhing and freaking out and trying to get away from it. And so I'm not certain that that we are going to see that.
Yeah, maybe not in direct sunlight, but I mean just again
maybe a nice overcast day.
Yeah, just saying something.
If it's cloudy and foggy, you don't want to go outside.
Right.
Again. It's like, don't Picard 3 this, where everything is so dark you can't see what the hell is going on. Like, why is it now? I'm sorry, this is my one thing. Okay, Strange New Worlds didn't do this, but everyone else seems to have with all the sci-fi things now. It's everything is so damn dark, so you can get the contrast of like the shadows in people's faces that make it look more interesting. It's like you can't see anything. I'm like, this is the freaking future. Turn on a damn light.
Well, it's also partly because we now have, a true palette of colors thanks to the advancement of televisions. And so when they go to a night scene or a dark scene or whatever, a true black is presented where you it's enveloping. I mean, you know, paint has that one where it's the pure black paint, where if
the
you
Vanta black,
if you go into a room, there is no light if you have it painted this color, and so that's kind of what we're seeing. And Disney Plus just had that problem where everyone was complaining with Wakanda Forever, was because it was too dark, and so it's just we need to figure out how not to do that with modern technology so that we can see a night scene, and not go, who's talking, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I don't mind being just not every damn shot. That's all I'm saying. Just I would like to see if they're eating dinner. I want to be able to see that they're who's talking.
So, but no, listen, they're designed because the technology is getting so advanced and it's getting so good and so clear and so crystal and so, you know, we can have these true colors. It's designed to be seen in a movie theater in the absence of light. So if you're watching this at home, really, if you want to experience it, if you want to be able to see it better, turn all that shit off. Try to, you know, we don't all have the luxury of a theater like Ray does. So we can't all just walk into our theater and sit down and, you know, recline in one of our individual chairs with cup holders and have
it's not individual. It's
in the, you know, in the back
couch.
Right.
Yeah. So we can't just do that, you know, and experience luxury the way Ray does. But
some of us have to muddle through with our 56-inch, you know, flat
turn
screen.
off the lights, you know what I mean? And you can scooch the coffee table closer and take your shoes off and put your feet up and pretend you're on Ray's level.
Genesis, tea kettle, don't. Your house is bigger than mine.
And he's got a killer gaming setup as well.
He has a fantastic gaming setup. Yeah. Speaking of games, now we're going to transition really quick. Love you, Kim.
Hey, Kim, if it still works, it still works. You know?
That's absolutely
doesn't matter.
Not going to get into any of the background stuff because I just don't care about it. But my God, has Hogwarts been a fun play? Very entertaining, great story. It's got me invested.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't either. I'd call me Brown Rage.
Which wing?
Yeah,
that's good.
Edgar, you've been here. You know it's the West.
It's the West wing. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely it's been a fun game to play. So you know, just from a gaming aspect, I've been really invested in that. So you got it. Yeah, Kim. Oh, you know, I'll talk to you later. Maybe we can walk through that and kind of figure it out. But yeah, it's been a blast. I'm really surprised at how well this was done. I just didn't expect the last thing I expected was something this well done. I can't even explain it because the way that the character attributes and the gameplay itself, and everything else that it has going for it, it just speaks volumes to where we're at within gaming, and hoping that nothing crappy comes back out. So who knows? Did Sean freeze in that, or is that just okay? There we go. Sean had that mummy look on him. He said,
"Yeah."
I'm having some weird noises over here. I was just double checking. It's like,
no aliens?
Have the feds shown up yet? So okay.
No aliens. What did you do this time?
Shut up. First of all, lower your voice.
Oh, we love you, Edgar. All right. So we had really good trailers that came out. Kind of, sort of. I mean, I don't know. First off, it was one of the best Super Bowls I'd seen in quite some time.
I didn't watch it.
And it was even better that Philly lost.
It was so good not to watch it. It's the best thing ever to have all these people go, "Did you watch the Super Bowl?" Be like, "No, I have a life."
Yeah, no, I don't.
I love that.
I don't care. Commercials.
It was fun. Yeah.
Commercials are. You know, that's the one thing that I do like about the Super Bowl is everything in between.
Yeah.
Because those are typically better. What I think is silly though is now these commercials are so big that people are posting them online and they're putting the commercials out before they're ever there with the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Why are you doing that? No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Why
exactly.
are you doing that? If the idea is that these are supposed to be,
hold on, Kim was telling us she was flying in Michigan over Lake Huron. What was that, Kim? You're like a what?
if they're supposed to be a part of the Super Bowl experience, being that it's a Super Bowl commercial, then freaking save it for the Super Bowl, man. I don't know.
It irks me that we spend $8.6 million on 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Imagine what we could do.
But see, that's the best part about this, right? It's all inflated simply because it's tied to this one thing, right?
Sorry, I just had this image of Kim going by on a balloon.
On a balloon.
Just yelling at you, $12.
Yeah. So unlike Tom Brady's football, they overinflate this whole price of these commercials, and so it's arbitrary. It's BS. It's complete BS. They don't have to pay this. They don't have to do it. But it's become this spectacle of let's see how much money we can blow
for sure.
on 30 seconds. I still think one of the best 30-second commercials they ever did was Miller High Life with it was years back, and they did 30 1-second commercials, and they spread them out through the entire game.
I remember that.
And the dude would come, the dude would come up, and it was that one guy who was representing them. I forget who he was, but he would come up. He just goes, "One Mississippi," and then the camera, and that's it, and it cuts. And that was the first one, and I was just like, "That's freaking hilarious!" And then each one he kept coming back, and he'd be like, and then it'd cut again. Like it was, they did a really good job spreading that out.
That was fun.
Hysterical.
But the one thing about the actual, just for the comic book stuff, like those commercials, they didn't even do the trailers. They just did. They're like, here's a teaser trailer. Go to
online,
and watch the actual trailer. So they're not spending.
Is that what they did?
Yes, all of them.
It was like 20. Yeah, it was about 30 seconds, and they would show quick flashes of the trailer they wanted you to go and watch. And then, again, like Jason's point, the last 5 seconds of that trailer was go online now to watch the full trailer of the net, and it was like, okay,
it's brilliant because they're 15 or 30 seconds. So they're on the, a lot of them are even like just 15 seconds. So they're on the cheaper side of that. And they make money from you watching the trailer.
That's true. That's true.
And
it maximizes the amount of money that the NFL can pull in as well for the advertising, because they can go, we're going to keep even these down to 30 seconds. So you get to go watch them elsewhere because we're having these people pay for all this other time.
So isn't that awesome? Do you think they're breaking even then with whatever's online?
Oh, I bet you they're making money.
Because if they're going on YouTube to watch this, now they're getting revenue back. So is it 8.5 or 8.6 million that they're spending, or are they breaking even, or are they even making money?
Oh, I think they're making money. If I recall, I think the Endgame trailer made Marvel like $20-something million on
just off the trailer.
Off the trailer.
That's insane, man. That's so wild.
Yep.
But we did get some.
But this is they obviously are hurting though, because we're gonna have to go to airplane tier pricing on AMC theaters now. So it's a shame they're losing all this money.
The window seats are the cheaper seats at AMC theaters.
That's right.
That's what they're saying. If you got a window seat, you only pay $2.
I saw the commercial for that, and I was like, all I could think of is, what the hell is Kim Basinger doing in this thing? I know it's not Kim Basinger, but it's
I got you.
I didn't understand why she was hosted like trying to sell this. It's the weirdest. It's the strangest commercial I've ever
AMC
seen.
has gone bankrupt, and they're trying everything they possibly can. And someone threw that particular dart at tier pricing for movie theater seats, and they were like, "Okay, that's where we're going.
Yeah,
this is how we're going to maximize our profits."
And it's stupid because I don't. It's never, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. If people are going to, yes, they always want to try to pay and fill into the center, and then you get to fill them out on the sides, and it's first come, first serves. But, and now you've got actors like, what was Elijah Wood, and a couple others who were saying that, the theater is the great democratic leveler or all this thing. And they're trying to spin it with this big thing. I'm like, come on, guys. It's just the theater. but it's a theater we don't need to start bringing in airline style pricing
But
on
it's
for seats. Like,
the reason they're
do that.
doing that though is exactly for people like Jason. I'm waiting for streaming. I'm doing it now too. Like I'll catch it on streaming, whatever. You know,
I mean,
look at the.
I'm going to go see Ant-Man next week in the theater.
You're right.
I'm not going to an AMC theater, but I am going to go see it.
But look at it.
There's just not an AMC theater near my house. There's
not any good ones.
And that's where I go. So,
but look at it from that point of view, like a movie like Megan, right?
Yeah.
That just came out in December? It's already streaming next week.
Yeah.
Like, what's the 2 month more difference? I think it's
you know what? Make better movies that stay in the theater longer.
Someone would explain to me how Avatar is still like I imagine that James Cameron is just paying people to go see this movie. I don't know why it made another $2 billion. I just blows my mind that movie. I'm like,
I don't get it, dude. I don't get it.
Genesis, I'm sure you've seen Avatar too. I mean, was it worth $2 billion? And seeing it, like I don't know, it's crazy.
I haven't seen it,
and you're not missing anything, Kim. You're not missing anything by not seeing Avatar.
I saw the very first. I saw Avatar when it came out years ago. I saw it in 3D, much to my dismay, and it was impressive. But it was a movie that was made for 3D. That's the whole thing.
It was a gimmick film. Yeah,
it's a gimmick film, which means there's no real substance to it. It was just kind of it was
Preach.
Right.
Yeah.
It was fine to watch, but it was a good blockbuster, and that's it. There was no reason to make a second one
ever,
and I don't even understand the reason. Did he say this is is it a trilogy or is it 5 or 6 movies? It's something ridiculous.
It'll end on 5 or something like that.
It's so stupid. It's like, man, come on. Why are you doing this? What is the point of this? This is
Dances with Aliens is what it was, Kim.
It's Pocahontas. Again, it's not.
No. Actually, someone compared it scene for scene with Dances with Wolves, and it actually lines up better with that than it does Pocahontas.
That's the way I've always seen it. Has been Dances with Wolves, in my opinion. No, I get the parallel though, because he is going out to learn these folks, but and with the purpose to learn about the species,
the talking tree, the talking ancestor tree, the animals they're in deep communication with.
So Alice in Wonderland. I don't even.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's. Either way, it's all to the point. Yeah, the original point is there just isn't a lot of substance here. Why are we getting 5 of these things?
Yeah,
in what was essentially a gimmick film.
But then Cameron's like, well, our stuff is better than Marvel. Is it really?
Like, I think Cameron has spent too much time
whipping,
changing altitude, not altitudes, but depth. Balloons. He spent too much time under the ocean. All right, this dude.
Well, why can't he find the stuff that's missing out of the?
Yeah, seriously, James Cameron.
What Cameron used to be doing now.
Yeah, I think he has spent too much time in the ocean, and he needs to stop.
Sorry, I just read Kim's. Yeah, I don't know, but so going back to the commercials, I say that because we have all the tentpole movies that are doing the commercials and everything, and we finally get a look at the Flash. They had, I think, some John Wick, Creed. They did a 30-second trailer for the 2.5-minute trailer. Same thing.
Guardians
with
3. I'm sorry, of the movie ones. Although was Tetris actually shown in? Because
I can't remember if Tetris was shown or not, but
the Air Jordan one looks
interesting.
Really good.
Air looks
really good. I was like,
good.
What is this?
I just saw the Tetris trailer. I can't remember if it was in the Super Bowl or not, but the Tetris trailer looks good too. Like that, I was kind of surprised. But I think my favorite from the movies was actually the Mario Brothers trailer that they did, where it's actually just the Super Mario Brothers commercial for their plumbing business. That was actually really funny.
I liked the dark and gritty Super Mario Brothers take that they did on SNL. With Pedro Pascal.
Which, by the way, thank you for reminding. I completely forgot about that.
It's Mario.
You're welcome. Yes, you're right.
I need redemption because we made that. I made that joke. You both were like, "Oh, it's terrible," and then
it was
the same day.
No, the joke.
The
joke was terrible. The joke was terrible. They did a great job making your joke funny. Yeah, I'm glad they
reject reality and substitute my own. Anyway, so
oh my gosh, dude, you don't. Yeah, I will restrict your access. Oh, John Connor, you out of this thing, man.
Or you just give me access so that I can just bring
that's what I'm
myself
gonna
back
do.
into the show wherever I need to. We can do that. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to touch the stuff.
Hold on.
Put that up. Put
Because
that up.
that's you are not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong.
Not at all.
That is 100% true.
That's funny. That's funny.
And don't forget Matt Damon either. Doggone it, man.
Although, think about it. We've actually said more about a movie about the Air Jordans and Tetris. Again, not like movies, but like where they came from than we have about the tentpole superhero movies.
Yeah.
You know, it's
again,
like,
of everything that's coming out, like, just let me get to Guardians before aliens attack. I don't care. The Flash looks fine. I love it's Batman, aka the Flash, whatever you want to call it. I saw more Batman than I did of Ezra Miller. You know, I mean, my God, for when you go online to watch the full trailer, 30 to 40 seconds of that trailer is legitimately so focused on Batman that it's the 89 theme, you know, from Danny Elfman playing in the trailer. It's like, whose movie is this? You know?
Well, and like every article is, hey, look at all the bat suits.
Yeah, Michael Keaton steals the show. Michael Keaton steals the show.
Because it's the hype of the nostalgia, man. It's we miss it. You know what I mean? We miss the good old days before cell phones.
Movies being good.
Movies being good.
No, movies are still good, man. Movies
Genesis, I don't believe you. It's you're excited about a DC movie. Don't do that. Don't give me hope.
Yeah, don't lie to us.
He just said he's most excited about it. Doesn't mean he thinks it's going to be good, or when he sees it, he's going to enjoy the film.
Again, it's Guardians for me.
He can have hope and still hate the shit that comes out.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. That's our motto.
I didn't mind the changes that they were doing. I will say this about the Flash. Loved that there was a blue and gray suit for Ben Affleck's Batman. That suit looks phenomenal. And I always told Jason, I was like, you will never have that blue
Batman?
and gray suit.
Wasn't it Keaton's Batman?
No. Affleck's Batman.
That was Affleck's
They both
Batman?
have a they're while the suit that he's wearing is sort of the updated 89 version where it's pure black. In the scene where you have all the different costumes in the background, one of them is actually, I think two of them are blue and gray.
For some reason I thought that was Keaton's stuff, not Affleck's.
Well, Keaton has a blue and gray one too, but Affleck is actually wearing one.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see. I guess I didn't watch the full trailer. I didn't know most of this. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, so I didn't know.
The only reason I know that one of that there is a Keaton again in those costumes behind him that one's blue and gray is because someone did a still frame and enlarged. But it's like I'm having more fun with the costumes they have behind him. than anything else from the damn trailer. The Zod reveal was interesting. I like that.
I like that. Zod, it's setting up that whatever's coming up next, which is what they've already said. What they did say too was that because after Flash is Blue Beetle, but apparently that's going to carry a Elseworlds title, not tied in. Kim, you and me both. But it's just, I don't know. I'm trying to temper my excitement for the Flash. Just because I don't know what James Gunn and what's his name is doing. After
this, things are going to be very different with Gunn at the helm of this. I think this is going to be the last. It is. It's going to be the last movie that feels like Snyder. That feels like it's from the Snyderverse in a way. Yeah. So everything after this is going to.
Everyone's praising the movie like that because it's been done for what, 3 years, 2 years, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's been finished. Yeah, it's Miller. Miller screwed this thing from coming out so many times.
I didn't know that.
It's been done for quite some time.
So, well, I knew that he was, for a little while. I just meant I didn't know that it had been sitting that long. So.
Thank you. I would actually pay to see that.
We've been talking about in the background, Kim. How we want it to end is when he gets back, it's a completely different Flash, and I don't mean costume. I mean person. It's just a completely different person.
Like he comes out of the
Grant Gustin comes out, and starts talking to Bruce. That's exactly how it should be.
That's how it should be.
But yeah, so I'm mentioning that. John Wick. is John Wicking it up to
Yeah.
the theme song of The Sopranos. Creed 3, I think I'm the only one probably interested out of all three of us. Just
No,
because
I'm interested. I
like,
think, but like I said, I'm just gonna wait for streaming because.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the movie I looked most forward to was Air, and that's April, I think.
When I saw that trailer, I was just I really, that one grabbed me. That was the one I was just like, what is this? You know? So yeah.
Oh, the Owen Wilson Bob Ross thing,
Edgar.
I'm sorry. This is the first I'm hearing about it. What?
It's not Bob Ross. It's
okay.
But that's the inspiration. If he was a player, if he was a hoe, like I don't know how to say this.
I didn't see the trailer. I just saw the stills, but they released images of him in that. Like they released images of him dressed as that months ago. So I don't know why but yeah, I don't know. I love Bob Ross, man.
Yes.
Like with Sammo as Flash. I just saw that.
Shawn Leguizamo as Flash. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone but
no, he was too busy getting turned down for the Vulture role and being used as a pawn in the Michael Keaton saga of that story. That if you get a chance, go read that. And part of me is like, yeah, it's kind of crappy, but dude, like, stop, just kind of calm down with the card already. I'm tired of seeing that. Oh, how could I forget about this trailer? So, Fast and the Furious 10. I was concerned for a second because it took a full minute before, they started defying logic. I was like, wait, what is this? Again, I have no real desire to see that at all.
I haven't seen it since what's the one where they were on? Which one is the one where they were on the world's longest tarmac?
I don't know.
Fighting, and they were using cars.
I know what you're talking about.
To fight
the cars were holding down the entire plane.
The moment you mentioned that trailer, my eyes started twitching. I can't. We visited a friend a little while back, and it happened to be a marathon streaming on the TV. I don't know what it was. Just so it was on the TV, and I looked over and I was like, "Is this Fast and the Furious?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's Fast and the Furious." And it was the one, the last one I saw. Paul Walker was still alive, and they were driving through drug smuggling tunnels at the speed of like 90 miles an hour.
Number 4. It's sad that I know that's what it is.
Dodging these like pillars at 90 miles an hour. It was the most ridiculous. And I was like, I remember seeing that in the theater, and I just looked at it. I was like, God, this was a horrible movie, And then they skipped. They didn't even do in the marathon. They didn't even do the next movie that's in the series. They just skipped over that one and went straight to the next one. And I was like, what is happening? And even my friend was like, yeah, I don't know why they did that. This is weird.
You're better off, man.
Hey, Genesis, you're welcome.
Don't worry, Genesis. I didn't give anything away. Let
me tell you though, since the very first one came out and they went to light speed because they pushed a little red button to do nitrous that took them up to 110, and apparently they're in a pure vision tunnel of colors and lights. I'm like, I've gone 120. I have never seen that before.
I love the first one.
The first one's good.
Great.
Yeah.
The first one's fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything else after that is utter dog shit.
Yeah, the first one is good. It's fine. It makes sense. It's point blank with cars, and that's fine. There's no problem with that.
Point blank with cars. That's right.
Okay, here's the thing. I was actually thinking about this because after I did episodes 4 and 5 of The Last of Us back to back. So I had to wash my brain out with some Star Trek. Just the darkness and depressingness of, well, all life is meaningless, But
yeah, that was your work day, man. That's all that was.
Anyway, so I was like, I gotta get some Star Trek in there, wash it out a little bit. But I was thinking about this, right? Like the old school Star Trek versus the new Star Trek, to your point about the first Fast and Furious was really good, but then now we have these things where cars are holding down C1 Cali. Seriously. It's the super, and we kind of mentioned this on Terminator Genesis. It's the superheroing of everything, right? It used to be that movies and shows had to, like, they were, because of budget, they were sort of in technology. They were
comment section's way funnier than what you're talking about, man. But keep going.
Kim, that's
Yeah.
Lil Bow Wow to you. All
Yeah.
right.
Lil. You put some
No,
respect
no,
on that
no.
name.
It was only to a certain point. It is now Bow Wow.
Oh,
it's
it's Bow
now
Wow?
Bow Wow.
It is now Bow Wow.
Whatever.
Anyway, but my
It's
point is
all
like there is something where if you have to stay practical, which is something I think I do like about The Last of Us, is you don't have people doing stupid superhero level gymnastics. Everything's practical. It leads, I think, to a little more realness.
I think he still had that till he was about 20, Kim.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe 25.
Either it's just, I don't think the physics or anything matter. It's just a terrible series of movies.
Look,
Well,
I think if you get rid of
Yeah.
physics, if you get rid of that, and if you write a good movie, I will forgive the stupid stuff.
Yeah.
100%. I'll forgive anything that's like, that's not possible if the movie
Right.
is good.
I agree with you, but
look at The Matrix. I forgave all of it because the first one I was just like, this is an amazing movie. I don't care that this was
I get
ridiculous.
that.
It's
I get what
amazing.
you're saying, but the thing is, though, when you can do anything, you're not restrained. That creativity
needs
restraint.
Because it's less practicality. I see what you're saying. And I mean, that's part of the reason. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my
Don't
point.
Don't forget. And they steered the vehicle with the wheel in space.
Did they actually do that?
I cannot make this up. There's a space station. Okay. It's anyway. Oh my gosh.
So hold on, is that seen on YouTube? I have to watch this.
Yes, it is. I'm sure it is, but you're not watching it right now. So anyway.
Oh, and then also, I guess I don't. Did they?
Since he's doing something else, I'm just gonna take him off.
Have they released the trailer for Indy 5?
They did release a trailer for Indy 5. The quick snippet that they actually showed. Jason, focus. The quick snippet that they showed on the Super Bowl thing was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I just went back and watched all of the Indiana Jones series, and I think all of us were harsh on that fourth one, but I don't know if that harshness was necessarily justified. Stupid stuff for sure. Better than any of the others, probably not. But better than some of the stuff that we're seeing nowadays, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, probably.
I'll have Jason join us when he's done looking at his phone, because he's literally gonna take time to do that. So I'm gonna take him off.
I don't think you can get from what I would see as the swan song for The Last Crusade, get from that to number 4, and have it be. I don't know. It just bugs the shit out of me. The Last Crusade was so good. Stop doing
Jason,
that.
I'm not doing anything now, man. That's all you.
I know.
Last Crusade was so good, and then Crystal Skull, it wasn't that good. It had no focus, and it tried to play on your nostalgia by bringing back characters from.
Isn't that what this one's gonna do?
And I don't really know. I don't know. But I've heard that they've digitally de-aged his face throughout the entire film.
No, I was reading that too about how their flashback scenes. No, what they said is they're using.
They just did flashback scenes on that. Okay.
But even then, it's footage that they didn't use. Now that's what they're saying.
No, because I saw the interview with Harrison Ford on a show, and he said they had a guy go back through and he can de-age my face on certain scenes.
On certain scenes, but
not the whole movie.
No,
okay,
not
good.
not the whole movie. And 2, some of the scenes that are being shown are literal.
Just like outtakes.
They're outtakes. Yeah,
that's fine. I get it. But it doesn't change the fact that it's still true what I said, that they are de-aging his face on certain things, which he says looks amazing. And
he's got tenure, Kim. That's why. That's why he doesn't want to retire as a professor.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man.
All right,
I'm looking forward to it because I do want it to be good. You know what I mean? I want to see it. I want it to be a good movie. And I think he said this is again the last time they'll ever play Indiana Jones. But that's every single time one of them writes or talks about it or makes them, they're like, this is the last time I'm going to do this. It's like, well, eventually it will, because you'll die.
Yeah,
but still,
I can tell you the one who really irritates me with not wanting to let go in that sense for their movies, continue making good stuff, continue making Tulsa King, please. But let Rocky die. Let Rambo die, because his thing with Creed 3 coming out, that is one thing that's a controversy, is that he's like, well, I think they're killing Rocky and blah, blah, blah. Like, he's getting, like, I think I got like one more Rocky in me. No, you don't. You're 76. Knock it off. You're not playing a boxer. That's great if you want to play a trainer or you want to play Mick or whatever.
That'd be fine.
You're done.
Fine.
Like, let Creed
have its transition. It's not believable that you would be a boxer in the ring. It's not believable that you would be anything other than a trainer at this point.
Yeah.
It's not.
And again, you're doing a great job.
Hold on. Cam, leave Thor 4 alone. Okay, go ahead. But that's like, we got to arthritis. We got to stop. Like, just stop. Like, if I know you love the character, I know you wrote it and everything else, and I know behind the scenes you lost all your rights to Rocky. I get all of that. You can be frustrated with that. But if they want to do a Drago series, if they want to do a Creed, who cares? Don't act like you're, maybe you're not getting money, but I think you've got enough to not have to worry about it. You know?
I do wish they would stop pilfering some of these other stories off of, like, franchises, and again, come up with something new. That would still be a novel thing, in my opinion.
Well, again, to your point, that's kind of what we're seeing with, like, even though they're technically spinoffs, Air, Tetris, but even the spinoffs of Yellowstone, right? Like, they're kind of their own unique thing. We're getting a Bass Reeves story because of it.
And I don't even know who that is at this point, because I don't remember it. I don't know. I've seen up to a certain point in Yellowstone, and that's as far as we've gotten.
I haven't seen any. I haven't watched any of Yellowstone, but I'll watch the Bass Reeves thing because it's not connected. Bass Reeves was you don't know who Bass Reeves is?
Yeah, we're not about to get into it because we're past time, Scooby.
Okay, fine.
Anyways, I just
final thoughts, gentlemen.
I don't know. I'm excited for John Wick because sounds good. Why not? Wouldn't mind to see that again. Hope it ends soon. Get tired of it. Last of Us, good stuff. I think that Air and Tetris are different, in my opinion, from pilfering from other shit, because really they're just telling a story of how this stuff came about. And that's history to me, and that can be a movie. You know what I mean? That's fine. Which
is somewhat it's not fake, but it's not 100% true either.
It's not 100% true. No, of course not. I don't mean this isn't a documentary.
Yeah, but I'm really liking that. I'm really liking those movies that are pulling from that.
Yeah, I've got no problem with that. I think that's fine. And if they want to find some more video games that they can turn into a good series, go do it. But stop, like, enough with the Star Wars, enough with the not Marvel stuff, but Marvel, slow it down a bit. Like, take some time and put out a good movie.
So that'll be the next show, I think, because that has been a thing that Marvel now, Kevin Feige's taken out one of the movies for this year. They've stopped
one of the series off of Disney Plus. I think there's only going to be two series.
Yeah, there's only 2 maybe this year,
which is fine. Like, we don't need to be overwhelmed by this. It's like we have lives that we have to do. Like, go out and be people. And you can't just it's not the pandemic anymore. We can't just sit in our homes and be tied to the TV. You got to get out and do shit. So
go touch some grass.
Yeah, Jason,
which is
5 seconds. I'm gonna let you have it.
Get some sunlight in the morning.
Yeah.
But Jason, you ready?
Seriously,
5 seconds. Bass Reeves, go.
Bass Reeves. He is the first black marshal west of the Mississippi. Amazing human.
Cool.
So I am interested in seeing that series as well.
I would.
All right. Everyone, be kind, be nice to each other. Make sure to say hello to the alien overlords as they fly past or get shot down from the sky, whatever. Kim, boom, booms, right? Which sounds weirder now that I say that out loud for some reason. Anyway, Jason, do you want to sign us out?
Sure, guys, go touch some grass. Get some vitamin D. It's all good. And then while you're doing it, go visit Titan. Go say hi to Jeremy. Buy some stuff. Because how can you show your love to our Disney overlords unless you're buying their merchandise?
No, the aliens are taking them over. It doesn't matter. Yeah, and exactly. that brings up another thing too.
You think that talking rat isn't an alien? Come on, man.
2 weeks from now, I do want to talk about the fact that Warner Brothers the rumors are getting stronger and stronger. They are looking to sell off 2 of their major entertainment divisions. The one being DC, second one being the whole Harry Potter universe. So that's kind of adventurous as well.
Yep.
But until then, be kind to each other, be nice to each other, and we'll see you next time.